Hello and welcome to the 48th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. We're virtual again this week. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm your host Chris, along with our co-host Jordan.
That's me. It's a weird one, Chris, because not only are we virtual, I am currently doing laundry, and it's a Friday.
It's Friday, not Saturday. Jordan's doing laundry, which is atypical of him. And it's like 10 in the morning.
Oh yeah, that too. It's 10:09 a.m.
Because tomorrow's the 3rd. I was expecting to have plans tomorrow, but rain. And then Sunday's the 4th. I guess we could have done Monday, but then that's a pain because you usually edit on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So.
But and you have some things after this, so we're just kind of going for it at this point.
It's a secret because I'm going to talk about it in a moment.
Yeah, I see. It says it in words in front of my face right now.
Yeah, it do.
Anyway, if you guys want to listen to the show, for stupid shit like what just happened, you can always listen on your favorite podcasting app, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and not sure how much longer I will say this, but my favorite podcast app, Pocket Casts. You can listen to us natively there, or we have our RSS feed always linked down below. Import it into whatever, media consumption app you use. And as always, if you want to contact us, whether it be comments, questions, concerns, or death threats, shoot them over via email to synapsemisfire@pm.me, or comment it if you're listening on YouTube for some reason, which surprisingly people do.
I listen on YouTube.
Yeah.
To my own show.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of a narcissist.
Understandable. I mean, you can't be as bad as this 20-pound cat laying on my desk currently kicking me with his back legs.
Ah, I see. Big cat.
Big gato. Large gato.
My cat will probably show up and scream for a little while. It's all he's been doing lately.
Yeah, that seems to be his thing. He gets off on it.
He just shows up. It's like I was taking a shit yesterday, and he made the loudest noise I've ever heard him make. He just goes, meow! It's the loudest noise I've ever heard him make.
Man, he had to use the bathroom. He had to take a shit, and he was like, get the fuck out, bro.
He was gonna use the toilet like a person?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
Hell to the yeah. But, Chris, what have you been up to?
Honestly, Jordan, nothing. This has been like the least eventful 2 weeks in my entire life.
It might be for the better, right? In some ways.
Yeah, it means nothing bad happened.
True.
So,
Nothing good happened, nothing bad happened. Just a mediocre 2 weeks, some might say. I am back.
He back.
I'm backy. Laundry. Fucking
so,
laundry, man.
I was in the meantime, while I was after I adjusted my gain, I was cleaning the contacts on this cable because, okay, so my dad has this old Samsung camcorder, like an old one. It uses tapes.
Yeah.
And, I've been trying to figure out how to port all the tape audio, or like all the tapes to like a digital format.
Yeah.
And it's proved to be a bit of a pain. But it turns out there's a proprietary cable you're supposed to use. And I just found it, so I'm cleaning it off.
Yo, this cat is such a dickhead, right? Oscar's on my desk, as I said at the start, and he's just sitting there scratching himself with his back foot. So me, being such a great owner, I reach over and I start scratching it for him, like the area that he's scratching, and he fucking bit me.
Yeah, that's a cat moment.
Usually he lets me too. I'm like, you fucking dick, dude. Get the fuck out.
That's weird, dude. I don't know, man. Chunk, that's just normal activity for Chunk, honestly. It's dude, like if I touch him, he will bite me, probably.
Yeah, no, usually with Oscar, I mean, for Christ's sake, he fucking lets me do whatever I want. So if he's scratching himself and I start taking over, he's all into it. But this time, not so much.
Chunk is like an actual menace.
Yeah, basically. But Yeah, I'd say I'm kind of in agreement there that the last 2 weeks were a little bit tame, one might say. The most exciting thing that happened was I went out for dinner with the boys from my department. The men from my department, I mean.
The boys, the men.
Yeah, I was trying to distinguish.
Jordan went out to dinner with like 6 men.
Yeah, 6 men. Actually, it was 6 total. It was 5 men.
Okay.
Let me just say, that was a fucking hoot, dude. That was an experience. It was awesome. It was...
It always strikes me as weird because, like, you're the youngest in that department by, like, a considerable margin.
By about...
Like 10 years or
11 or 12 years, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, like, so odd to me. That's, like, why, my previous coworker who I did, my IT job with, me and him never, like, hung out outside of work, even though we were good, like, friends at work, because he's like 9 years older than me, and I'm like, that'd be weird. That'd be weird if I was hanging out with a nearly 30-year-old man.
Mm-hmm. Well, so. it was funny because we're sitting. This was like a wing and bar place. Like, they basically specialize in wings, and they have a nice bar.
It's a place
and stuff.
where guys be dudes.
Guys be dudes, exactly. So I come in and they're all at the bar, so I'm hanging out at the bar with them. But obviously, if you don't know this for some reason, Chris nor myself are 21, so neither of us can drink legally anyway. But we're just kind of booling at the bar, hanging out. They're drinking, and we get to our table, and they're drinking again. And I kept making jokes about, like, they had chocolate milk on the menu, and I couldn't believe it. They have chocolate milk, and they were like, oh, do you want it? And I'm like, no, I'm just fucking around because I can't drink or whatever. And the waitress comes over, starts taking orders, and one of them, the guy with the Mazda, Chris, I don't know if I've ever said his name in the podcast, but I'll avoid it, but the guy with the Miata, the giraffe, as you refer
giraffe with the Miata.
He stops the waitress and goes, what types of milk do you have? And she was like, well, we have chocolate milk and regular milk. And he was like, okay, yeah, can we get chocolate milk? She was like, yeah, we're all out.
That's perfectly in character for him, to be honest.
And then they were giving me a little bit of grief, but, like, not literally grief, but they were just being funny. They were like, oh, do you want 1% or do you want it frothed? I was like, oh my god, man, what the fuck?
No, it was none of that 1% shit, dude. I want the fucking whole milk.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't know who the hell took the 99% of my milk, but I want it back.
Yeah, true. I like whole milk, but unfortunately I drink skim now because that's what Lexi likes.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate. I don't really drink milk in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. It's usually with
I'm not a
food
big
or,
milk
like, cereal.
guy.
I go through spurts rather. I'm like, I'm a big milk guy. Hell yeah, milky. I'm like really into milk for like a week, and then I'm like, fuck this stuff. This is cow jizz.
No, we always have milk in the house because my dad is a big milk guy. He drinks a lot of milk. He's got strong-ass bones.
That made sense, It's because he does all that woodwork. He don't need a saw. He just uses his wrist.
Holy shit. He just slams his wrists on the wood and it'll split.
Perfectly, though. It doesn't even, like, break. It just slices.
No, it splits perfectly where he wants it.
Yeah, every time. Should have seen him when he built that box for you guys.
That was comedic.
Whip, and he just destroyed it, That was comedic how fast he did that.
Yeah, he's
that was like the quickest turnaround ever.
Yeah, exactly. That's like scary how quick he makes things.
Yeah.
But it's impressive. It's fucking impressive.
For a little bit of context, Chris wanted a box made with like plexiglass, so it was kind of like a display case, some would say. Maybe about, what would you say, like 6 or 7 inches tall by like 5 inches wide or so?
Yeah, something like that.
And I showed up at his house one time with Alex for the podcast, and Chris was just kind of like, hey, want to make this thing? And we were like, yeah. His dad was into it, and we go out back to his like woodworking area, and in a matter of like 7 minutes, we had this like finished display case. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, he is like scarily good at this. It's weird.
Yeah, it was
I guess, he's been doing it for fucking forever, so.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I
hope when I'm his age, I'm skilled at something,
Something beyond nothing. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's how I feel. I'm just kind of like, I don't know anything, man.
My knowledge is very much like, it's very vast but very shallow.
You can go a couple inches into like each subject.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I know about a lot of things, but only a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah. Very vast, but very shallow, exactly. It's a perfect descriptor. Cat, what are you doing? You fat, orange, useless, you fucking sack of fat.
Bruh.
He's just here, dude. He just isn't leaving.
He's just existing. I hate him.
He's pissed because he's like, wait a minute, bro. You're home on Friday and you haven't held me for the last 4 hours you've been awake? Jesus Christ, dude. That's his everything. He's like, what are you doing here on a Friday?
Why do you even exist?
Fucking cat. But, yeah, aside from that, last 2 weeks have been kind of what they is.
There was the incident with your dryer, correct? Or your washer?
Yeah, where it just stopped for some reason. Don't know what happened.
The
amount of times, so for context, again, apartment washer and dryer, little 1400 watt, 120 volt dryer, so it's roughly about 12 amps. The amount of times I've had to tell my girlfriend, like, hey, the only combination you can do with the dryer is the washer. You cannot do the dryer in the microwave, you cannot do the dryer in the air fryer, so on and so forth. Dryer in the toaster, things like that. High amperage appliances. You can't pair them. It's only on a 20 amp breaker. So, the amount of time she hasn't listened and tripped the breaker, number one. And then I get a text at work the other day while I'm in Chris's department. And it's just like, hey, I wanted to use the microwave, so I unplugged the dryer while it was running, and now it no worky. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I just fucking hate everything about my life at this point. So I was like, oh, great. Now I have to go home and try to figure out how to fix this fucking thing, or like try to warranty it or whatever. And, it's a pain in the ass. But then I get a text like an hour later that's like, yeah, I tried it, and it just started working. And I'm like, okay, my friend. I have no idea what happened there. That was probably the only other exciting thing, and it wasn't exciting for any of the right reasons.
Nice.
So, there's that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Things just happen. Sometimes you just accidentally unplug something and it breaks itself,
Yeah, like usually, right, because the power button on my computer, right, it's over here on the right side, and then there's also the Windows start menu to shut down the PC. Usually I find it easier to turn off my computer by going down to the basement and just flipping the breaker off and then back on. Usually how I do it.
All the way down from like the 3rd floor?
Yeah. It's about maybe 5 or so flights of stairs from here to the basement, yeah.
Nice.
I usually just, tiptoe my way down there. Sometimes bring out the trash while I'm doing it, hit the breaker, and turn it back on. So.
I found the most effective way of turning off my computer is opening up the side panel and unplugging my 24-pin connector from my motherboard.
You unplug it? I usually just cut it.
I just cut it.
Fucking rusty pair of scissors. Just there you go. Over and done with. Actually, speaking of PCs and stupid things, Jason, Chris told me about your PC, and I heard it detonated itself.
Yeah. He messaged in the Discord the other day. It was like, hey, my computer just randomly turns off. I'm like, oh, okay. Does it do anything before it turns off?
Like beep or anything?
No, it just turns off. And then we basically just told him, like, hey, check all your connections. Like, anything involved in power, just check that. And then he reported back, like, yesterday afternoon, was like, yeah, it's fine now.
Did he find anything?
I think it was just a loose, power into the back of the power supply was just loose.
That makes sense.
That's happened to me before.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good. If for those who don't know, more Synapse Misfire lore. That was a segment on the show where I explained building Jason's PC. That's his first PC. So
Yes.
we originally were suspecting that if nothing was loose or obvious, like a loose RAM stick or some shit, which usually won't cause it to turn off, but just won't let it post. But we were gonna assume bad power supply. But then we did some digging. I did some digging in the archives. And I was going to be surprised if that power supply went, because that's 80 plus gold from Corsair. So, and it's been less than a year for context as well. But that's good. Glad he fixed it.
Yeah, I guess, there's just something loose.
Loosey-goosey, I told him not to use too much lube near his PC.
Well, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you get a little too excited.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't control yourself,
So, question for you, Jordan.
Yeah.
You've said Oscar's just chilling on your desk.
Yep, at the moment.
How are your other animals?
Oh, the other rodents?
The two rodents.
So we had Letsy's dad and little sister and her stepmom over yesterday to visit them. Jerry, fucking pimping, dude. He opened the cage. He's like, what up? What's good? You're petting him. He's chilling. Noggin? What a little pussy bitch. Fucking hate that guy.
Dude, Jerry, if I look at Jerry, he just runs.
Really?
Yeah, he just doesn't. It's like every time, it seems like every time I'm around him, he's always freaking out about something.
Yeah, I guess maybe that makes
hiding
sense.
Or whatever.
If you warm him up to you, so like with us, he's obviously fine. And then yesterday we had to warm him up a little bit to her family with food. But like Jerry, dude, that guy will walk up to you like, what's good, and let you pet his head and shit. Noggin, like, first of all, is an antagonizer because he's supposed to be the alpha of them. But Jerry won't let him. Jerry's like, nah, I'll kind of put up a fight.
Don't they just make noises too?
Yeah, they chutter and stuff where they're like growling almost.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I remember you touched the bag that his food is in, and he went.
yeah. If you move any sort of plastic bags, they start to squeak. Yeah. Which that's the key. That's like the good part, though. The bad part is when you're trying to sleep and you hear them growling at each other, and then they fucking
freaking out.
Yeah, they like growl at each other, and then they run into each other, right? And they flip over their houses and make a shit ton of noise. And I'm like, bro, you don't have to work tomorrow. Like, fuck off.
You useless rodent. Go get a job.
Literally, dude, I'm like, how about you do something with your life, you pussy-ass bitch?
Feed him to Oscar.
They're good. My favorite part is, so Jerry and Oscar really like each other. If we open the cage, they'll like sniff each other. And Oscar's kind of like, all right, yeah, okay, he's whatever. But
he tolerates them.
But Noggin is so afraid of Oscar that it's so funny. Anytime like he's being a dick, I just put Oscar in front of them, and Jerry comes out and it's like, "What's up?" And Noggin hides. I'm like, "Yeah, that's right."
Well,
pussy.
see now Noggin knows that there's an alliance between Jerry and Oscar. So now anytime Noggin starts giving Jerry shit, he just calls in Oscar and just beats the shit out of him.
That's what I wish that was the case, dude. I wish Oscar would be the warden, where like. Yeah, he's like giving him some shit, and he whistles, and Oscar just comes stomping around the corner and fucks him up.
Because that's scary. Because like a cat is already a pretty scary encounter for like a rodent of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
But especially a large cat like that.
I know.
He has a presence.
Yeah, you know when he's there, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. It's like when in Jurassic Park, when the T-Rex is coming.
Basically, he even has the stubby arms and all. He just walks on his hinds.
And then he goes, "Ow!"
Yeah, basically. Man, this fucking cat, dude. The good news is the mice, we haven't seen them in months, and I hypothesize, because they were usually in the ceiling. I hypothesize that because it is now summer in New England, and we had like a heat wave, and it's been like good solid 80s and 90s the last couple weeks with a couple low days. I suspect that the attic where they were is probably like 110, and they're just nah, I'm going downstairs. They're probably in the basement, absolutely. If I had to guess.
My attic is always like, I don't go up there very much, but if you go up into the attic, it's my roof is black and the attic isn't insulated.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's like 180 fucking degrees in there.
That's fucking insane, dude. That is insane. Yeah. I remember I was trying to prove a point to Letsy because she insists that Oscar has a bell on his collar, and I'm just kind of like, nah, though he can't hunt with a bell, right?
Yeah.
So we heard mice, but he wasn't catching them for a while. So I was like, all right, let me prove my point. And I took his collar off, and the first night he brought us a fucking mouse.
Well, see, here's the thing. The cat I had before Chunk, I bought him a bell collar, and I put it on him, and he wore it for like a couple days, and then he took it off himself and hid it from me, and I never found it again.
What a beast! That's
so I imagine cats just hate that. They don't like when it makes a sound every time they move.
Yeah, basically, Oscar deals with it, but I could tell it was impeding his hunting abilities because he's basically a walking alarm.
Prevents him from living up to his true potential.
Basically, his true potential, which is definitely not how he's all fucking curled up on my desk right now, taking up 80% of it.
Chunk fucking lost a fight to a bug yesterday, or the other day.
Were you telling me about this? You said he he got his ass kicked.
Yeah, he was punching it. He was punching this bug. And then he gets down low and he looks at the bug, and the bug looks back at him, and he sprints away.
He's like, oh shit, that thing's alive. He thought he was
that bug like fucking put a curse on him or something. And then I had to take care of the bug.
The bug was a fucking sorcerer.
Yo, what the cat doing? So let's maybe move on to topics.
Yeah, that's true. I sent you one more photo of Oscar in the Discord. So topics first. You want to kick it off, or do you want me to kick it off?
You can go.
So, something we'll speak about more, but Steam sales. I bought some games on the Steam sale.
I bought more games this morning, actually. I didn't have a chance to play them yet, but...
Oh, really? So I bought two games that, in my opinion, were oldies but goldies in a way. Not so much the first one, but definitely the second one. So I bought Sniper Elite 4, and I bought L.A. Noire for PC. L.A. Noire is one of my favorite games ever, dude. I put so many hours into that fucking game when I was younger. Like, that was the shit on PS3 for me. And then Sniper Elite 4 was just like, I fucking love Sniper Elite. So I bought Sniper Elite 4, and I had only ever played it on PS4, because I actually owned it on PS4. I played it on here, and I'm going through the graphic settings, as a PC gamer does. If you're a true PC gamer, you know that you do not hit new game. You go immediately to settings and check your graphics options. Am I wrong?
Oh, of course.
So, there is a graphic option in the settings for Sniper Elite 4 that was like a special optimized performance audio. And it literally says, like, this audio is so good it may cause, like, performance issues because it requires a lot of power. And I was like,
what the fuck?
I'm like, all right, let me check this audio off and just see what it's about. Suspecting this was going to be useless, garbage, trash shit, right? Wow, I have never played a game with better sound.
Really?
I don't even have like your headphones like Mark IIIs with A and C. I only have SteelSeries Arctis 7s, just normal ass over ear, $70 gaming headphones.
Passive noise canceling.
As Google would say, passive noise cancellation, a feature. But man, in this game, you start off right. You do your little tutorial section. You start off on the side of a cliff, and there's fucking an ocean to your side, and there's like a town with artillery in front of you, and dude, the sounds, holy shit. You just hear the waves crashing. It's like surround sound. That's what the performance is mostly for. It's not the sounds themselves, but it's to make it like a true surround sound. And dude, you start off with the ocean on your left, and my left ear was just getting slammed with like fucking ocean waves, dude. And then you start climbing up a cliff, and you fucking stab a Nazi in the nuts, and then you hear him scream, and I'm just like, bro, what is going on? And then when there's artillery or planes flying overhead, it is the craziest experience I've ever had with sound. It is insane. Fucking insane, dude. I love it.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is. It's just so good, dude. Like, a plane, in a lot of games, I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds like it's coming from the right somewhere, maybe. But in this game, dude, like, I could hear a dude walking behind me. I could hear a plane fly overhead and immediately know when it went past my head and to the left. And, like, oh, it was so good. It was so good. We need more.
That's weird. I'm surprised like more games don't do stuff like that.
I know. Audio is such a big thing, dude. Like, people underestimate it. Like, you truly get a different experience if you have good audio. You know,
audio can make a game, especially like, not really the same thing, but like music can really make a game.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Yeah, like soundtrack as well. Just audio design in general. Yeah.
So,
like a soundtrack to a game, if you have a shitty soundtrack playing, like think of something like Doom. If it had a bad soundtrack, that game would be that would be bad. No one would like Doom if it had a shitty soundtrack.
Yeah, no, if it was like the same exact game, but it was all accordion music.
I don't know. I might be into that. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. You're just fucking decimating everything in sight.
It's like polka.
But yeah, no, that's a good point though, because in truth, yeah, Doom, any of those like high speed shooter games like that, like Doom, Ghost Runner, if those didn't have kick-ass soundtracks, those games would not be nearly as successful as they are. Because gore only gets you so far, honestly. So, yeah, I am surprised too, though. More games, I think, really need to spend a little more time on audio sometimes and less on visuals. Because, like, the visuals of a game have, we've hit a point where visuals are pretty much in any mainstream game pretty good. Like, pretty damn good. But you'd be surprised how many AAA games just have, like, mediocre audio. Like, Watch Dogs Legions, or even Valhalla doesn't have the best audio. Like, at all, by a stretch. It's, like, pretty bland. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing
and
about...
all the voice acting stuff is kind of mediocre in general, honestly.
True. Like, the only game... Like, if someone said to me... And obviously we always reference this, but if someone said to me, what is the best performance in a game, you already know what I'm going to say. It's Red Dead 2. Every character in that game is the best performance in a game.
There's some really good performances in God of War.
And of course God of War. Like, those are the big ones. Like, all the AAA, or even, like, I know this is a fucking hot topic, which if it is, still, a year later, people need to get over it. But The Last of Us 2, or The Last of Us 1, that's a good-ass performance in a game.
Do people care about The Last of Us 2 anymore?
You'd be surprised. So obviously, as you know, I'm into The Last of Us in general. Like, directly above my microphone is a shelf with all The Last of Us 2 merchandise. Not all of it in existence, but all contained is Last of Us 2 merchandise, might I say. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. So, I'll be scrolling through the old interwebs, and obviously I was very hyped when the game came out and really enjoyed it. And there's still people arguing in comment sections about it, and I'm just kind of like, bro,
still
fuck off already. Like, the topic moved away from like, we know likely that, well, spoiler alert for The Last of Us 2 if you care, in 3, 2, 1. The topic went from, we know likely that main character is gay, to we know likely that they kill off main character early on. Like, dude, it's been a year. Get over it.
Well, here's where I'm at, right? If you don't think the game is very good, or you don't like what direction the game went, maybe don't play it.
Yeah, right.
And then if you don't play it, it exits your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people, I don't know, man, people just love to complain about everything, and I always say, like, Red Dead 2, like, did Red Dead 2 go the exact direction I wanted? No. Was it still fantastic? Yes. Like, no. I would have loved if that game ended with fucking Arthur Morgan sitting on a fucking picnic table with his feet up, fucking downing some cigarettes and drinking some beer, dude. Like that, or whiskey. That's what I would have liked. But it ain't what happened.
And I wish that's how it ended.
That's what I'm saying. But it's still a fucking pinnacle masterpiece of human creation. So,
yeah.
Again, neither here nor there, but sound design in games should be really good. Now, it's funny you mentioned voice acting, by the way, in Valhalla, because, like you said, and I agree, pretty much everyone except for Eivor, and even his lines are cringy, but I'd say the delivery is sometimes cringy, but the actual character is good. Everyone besides Eivor is a little whack in some points. Even, like you said, line delivery is a little weird for Eivor, but at least, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, this guy's cool. I could talk to him.
Yeah, no, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't think there's a reason that this, fucking 10th century Viking should talk like a fucking poet. I don't think that makes sense.
Sounds like fucking Shakespeare.
He talks like a fucking anime character.
Kind of does. He does. And it's like, I get the idea with the character, but it all depends on your perspective on it. So like for a Viking game, say this was a game called Valhalla, and you were just a Viking who raided, which is basically what it is. They kind of drop most of the Assassin's Creed stuff. But if this wasn't an Assassin's Creed game, I would definitely 100% agree with you, because it's Assassin's Creed and he's supposed to be, technically, and I know you're going to scoff at this, but just technically speaking, he's supposed to be the ancestor of someone who's great, essentially. So that's where they try to make him this fucking smart, whimsical Viking, when really, you're right, a Viking should not be a smart, whimsical. They should be combat smart and just bloodthirsty. That's it.
Exactly.
But
also, here's the thing, right? I am a dumbass, right?
And you're not a Viking.
And now, right, does that mean that 30 generations from now, my ancestors or my fucking predecessors are gonna be dumbasses too? No.
No, but in terms of mythos, like Assassin's Creed games are all about, with the Isu and fucking civilizations and all that shit, it's supposed to be like descendants. So I know what you're saying. Like if fucking Bill Gates or whoever, someone fucking genius, Stephen Hawking, just say, if he had kids in 15 generations from now, are they going to be absolute geniuses? No, not necessarily. But in terms of the way Assassin's Creed explains things, they're kind of whack with that shit. They're like, he was, for Christ's sake, you fight the Pope, dude, in Assassin's Creed. Like, come on.
Like, I mean, well, that is like some real anime shit too.
It is, yeah. It's like, I'm the descendant of 17 gods. Like, what the fuck?
Fucking, that's like a big thing in JoJo's. Like, descendants who never meet their parents are exactly like them, and they can inherit all kinds of abilities from them.
Yeah. It gets you in that hero's journey or whatever. I used to love, like, I still do. I used to love, like, hearing about the hero's journey. I'm a sucker for that shit, dude. And that's what a lot of animes try to really, like, express it. A lot of anime is that. It's the hero's journey. It's like, oh, this guy gets his shit kicked in. And then by the end, he's the ultimate badass.
Yeah,
TV
basically.
and media in general. That's what a lot of it is, to be honest.
So, well, yeah, I guess. It's just more egregious in anime, usually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. By no stretch. Absolutely. But Sniper Elite 4, the voice acting itself is whatever. But there's this weird thing where I don't know, like, this is going to sound funny, but it honestly sounds like the voice actors recorded themselves talking in a refrigerator. So, anytime they talk, there's like 3 echoes of them talking, and it's the weirdest.
That's so weird.
It's the weirdest feeling. And here's the thing: I thought that was the like high quality audio kind of being fucky, but I remember when I was playing it on PS4 when it first came out, it was the same way.
That's weird.
It's just the audio in the game. It's very like, it resonates for some reason. They say something and it just resonates, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
I don't know who makes Sniper Elite. Is there like big money behind it?
505 Games. They're becoming a much bigger studio.
There's decent money behind it.
Yeah, they let me see if I think they just recently changed a little bit too. Like they kind of switched developers for a little while.
Like 505 publishes Payday.
Yeah, 505 is the publisher and Rebellion is the developer. And let me see. Rebellion has made Sniper Elite, Alien Games, Star Wars Battlefront, Mission Impossible. Yeah, they made some decent games here. I mean, nothing, crazy, I would say, except for the Sniper Elite series. That's like their most successful.
Yeah, I never was like a big Sniper Elite guy.
Well, you're not a stealth guy in general, right?
No. I don't have the patience for that shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I catch myself like that too.
No, I don't have any Sniper Elite games. I just searched for my Steam library. Because there is shit in my Steam library that I have and do not have any memory of buying.
Makes sense.
So.
Makes perfect sense.
Things just kind of appear in my library.
Well, it's all those bundles you get, right? Like the Humble bundles?
Yeah, all my Humble monthly. I'll go through and, like, activate 60 games or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
it is... I like the Sniper Elite series. I really do. And that's a really good transition for one of the other main kind of topics I wanted to get into. So, first of all, I meant to kick the episode off with this, Chris, in my little intro that I did. Everybody in the comments wish my boy Chris happy birthday. Because when this goes live, his birthday will have been yesterday.
yes, that's true.
And my birthday will be in 2 days, on Friday of the week this episode goes up. So wish us happy birthday. We're birthday boys.
We're birthday boys. Birthday boys.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Both-
birthday boys.
Both gonna be 20 years old.
Not 21. Yeah, 20 years old. Basically, arguably, probably the most boring age. It's literally just like, hey, you're 20.
Oh, no,
You know?
yeah, it sucks. It's
I
like...
turned...
I found that, like, being, like, 16, 17 is, like, really fun. Because, like, you're just learning, like, you're just, like, getting the driving thing down. You probably have, like, your first job.
Yeah, you're fucking cruising,
And then,
you're
like,
buying
turning
things.
18, you're like, this is great. I'm an adult. I can do all kinds of things now. And you're like, oh, I can't do anything fun. I can, like, take out loans.
Yeah, no, for literally age for me has been like 13. I was like, oh hell yeah, dude, I'm a fucking teenager. 15 to 16, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to drive. Then I'm 16, I get to drive. I'm like, yay, this is cool. Working, making money, fucking buying video games whenever I want, how many I want. Fucking 17 comes around, I'm like, yeah, this is fine. I'm just kind of there. 18 comes around, I'm like, oh, dude, I can move out. I move out. Oh, dude, shotgun. Fucking get shotgun. 19. Okay, yeah, just, kind of there, doing my thing. 20. Just kind of there, again, doing my thing.
Yeah.
So, nothing changes until next year when I can actually get, like, fun stuff, such as alcohol and such as LTC, and not at the same time.
No, that's illegal.
That's
Impaired operation of firearms. Sorry,
Exactly.
illegal.
But,
See, yeah, 21 is all the cool stuff. It's,
oh, and hotels. Yeah. I can't even stay in a fucking hotel yet. It'll be 21 usually. No, not around here. Most hotels. So, before I moved out,
that's
me and
fucking odd.
Me and Let's see, I was 18. She was 19 at the time. Just before we moved out, we were trying to, like, take a trip or whatever for the weekend. And they were like, nope, you need to be 21, to go to the hotel, or have a 21-year-old adult accompany you. And we were like, oh, shit.
I guess it depends on, like, where you go.
Yeah, more than likely. If you go to certain places, they're probably just like, yeah, whatever.
Because, like, I've found, like, I've never tried to rent a room myself, but it's like, I just feel like if you went, maybe it's like a policy thing for certain hotels. If you go to, like, some no-name shithole motel, they probably won't care.
Yeah, I think we called the closest we got to being allowed was, I think, the motel right near you, near that car dealership, if you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh my god, yeah, you don't want to go there.
We called there at one point. I think that was the one, because I remember being like, oh, this is close to Chris's. And we were just like, fuck it, we'll just stay there for a weekend, because I don't want to be with my parents. And they were like, the guy answered, and I was like, hey, how old do you have to be to rent a hotel? And he's like, I don't fucking know. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Good to know. So, we didn't end up going.
Nice. Well, here's the thing, is I knew a guy, I used to know a guy who was a state trooper, and he said that he would just camp out in that parking lot and just do drug busts every single night. Whenever he was bored, whenever he didn't have anything going on, he would just sit in that parking lot and do drug busts.
He just said, man, I'm bored. Time to bust some crackheads.
Basically.
That's fucking hysterical. That's crazy.
It's not a nice place.
It didn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like a very well kept facility per se.
No, absolutely not.
But more exciting than our birthdays, Chris, because no one cares about us. Thursday, the day after this episode goes live, Sniper Elite VR comes out.
Interesting.
For the Quest and the Rift, and I think Steam as well. So I'm fucking hyped for that, dude. I've been waiting my whole life for this kind of thing.
Waiting your whole life for this?
Yep. When I came out of the womb, my first words were Sniper Elite VR for the Oculus Quest 2.
you were like, damn, I kind of want Sniper Elite VR for the Oculus Quest 2, and they were like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And
How is this baby talking?
And I was just like, yeah. Like peanut butter, baby.
The fucking Valve Index is $4.99 now.
No, is that? Well, that's just the headset, right? Not the whole bundle.
Valve Index headset.
Yeah, the whole bundle should be $1,000 with sensors and
hardware specifications includes headset, integrated headphones, headset cable, connection cable, power supply, regionalized power adapters, face gasket, cradle adapter for smaller heads, and cleaning cloth. So yes, no, it doesn't require everything you need to make it work.
Valve Index VR kit, $1,000. It comes with
that's cringe,
headset,
honestly.
So.
That's like fucking actually retarded.
Yeah, I know. I really like the Index too, but you know.
Here's the thing: is like,
it's not even wireless.
How the fuck do you expect people to want to buy this VR headset?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, you need a PC. It's not standalone. You need to have a wire running out of the back of your head.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking stupid. I mean, I dropped my Questy Boy, as much as I hate Facebook, I dropped my Questy Boy sitting 14 inches away from me, $400, and wireless, and I can just slap one cable in and play all the same games the Index can.
Yeah, that's fucking odd. And I don't need to set up sensors and anything.
Yeah, literally. Exactly. Yep. I don't know, man. I wish Valve would smarten up and do something like, dude, could you imagine if Valve released a Steam VR compatible wireless headset? Like,
yeah, I mean, that would Oculus, like fucking decimate the Quest.
Yeah, like, dude. Oh, and Valve has so much money to do it too, man.
Get Gabe Newell, get him on the project.
Gabe, I'm gonna listen. I will suck your whole shaft if you do that.
He's got his money. He don't care anymore.
Yeah. They're clearly not as invested in VR, because if you truly, like, if you were to develop something and you were that settled, right? You're done. You're like, I have enough money, right? You would try to be the pioneer of that platform. And, you know, some might say that is the case, and that's why they release an expensive headset, because they don't care about profit, and they're just looking to make the best headset you can buy. But, like, that just doesn't make sense to me, you know? If I was rich enough where I was like, I can spend money on a project, but I don't care about necessarily the return on investment right away, like, I would be the pioneer of that platform. I would be trying to do the whole variable foveated rendering on a VR headset, like, you know? But instead, they just continue to release big grande headset with many sensors that have high refresh rate.
The thing is, though, I mean, it's not like Oculus is a small fish either. Like, they got Facebook money.
Oh yeah, no, by no stretch of it. They're not like they're not Oculus in 2012. Let's put it.
And you think about it, you're like, oh well, who uses Facebook? It's a dying platform. Oh, Instagram. Fucking every other platform they own.
WhatsApp or whatever.
Yeah, they have their own dedicated messenger app too.
Yeah. And also, the biggest thing with Facebook is Facebook might be a dying platform for our generation, but guess who it's not a dying platform for? The older generation. And they're the ones who also sit there and watch those ads over and over.
That's true.
And over and over, and don't think twice about it. Like, do you think you're 75? Like my dad. We won't even do hypotheticals here. We'll talk about my dad specifically, who uses Facebook. He's 60 years old. You think he's going to install ad blocker? Do you think he even knows what ad blocker is? No.
Absolutely not.
He'll just sit through the ads and shut his mouth.
Yeah. So, same story.
So there's their money right there. So what are you gonna do? He's used to ads too, because all he's ever done is fucking cable TV. So.
Cable TV is awful.
Yes, it is. Especially
here's the thing: is like
around here.
Cable TV costs a lot of money too.
Yes, it does. That's for show. That is for show.
And it's like it's. What are you even getting? It's like it's not even ad free.
No. No.
And you
You're
still
getting
have
access.
to pay to rent movies and shit.
Well, have you seen HBO Max's payment plans?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you ready to be triggered, boy?
Yes.
HBO Max now has 2 payment options. Well, besides yearly memberships, but in general, monthly. $10 a month with ads or $15 without ads.
Oh yeah, that's not atypical.
Yeah, it's fucking despicable in my opinion.
That's like how Netflix has their. I think they can still advertise as starting at $7.99 a month because they have their $7.99 a month plan that's 480p with ads.
That's why everyone always gives I know even you were saying, I think last episode, like Amazon Prime Video, when they have ads, it's like it's bad or whatever. The only one I tolerate with that shit is Amazon Prime Video, simply because I didn't get Prime for it. Like, you get Netflix. What do you get? You get Netflix. You get
exactly.
Prime. You get shipping. You get some Amazon Music stuff. You get Amazon Prime Video. You get access to a couple other things. So I'm less mad about it. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get an ad every 1 or 2 episodes, and I'm paying for this, but I'm not really paying for the video per se.
And
I'm paying for the shipping.
It's also literally like there isn't even a wait to skip the ad. You can just click skip.
Immediately, yeah.
Still really annoying.
Oh, absolutely.
But
A lot more tolerable, in my opinion, than paying for HBO Max to then get ads on HBO Max.
Yeah. Like I get I don't pay for Hulu. Like, I get Hulu I get the Hulu with ads plan included with my Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And if you run it in a browser with ad block, you don't get ads. It's Hulu without ads.
Yeah. So that's right there. That's perfect. And in that, you said that comes with your Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. That's fucking awesome.
And I pay student pricing, so I pay $4.99 a month.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. Isn't it? What is it regularly? 10 or 15?
It's 10.
10. Yeah, that ain't bad. Not bad. That's a YouTube Music for me. Like, I don't complain about the platform that much because I already pay for premium and I get the music, I get the videos. It's all like just kind of add-ons, Like, if they were like, hey, now we're gonna include Netflix with ads, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, okay. If I paid for Netflix and then I got ads, I'd be a little more upset. In my opinion.
I think honestly, the platform that might do the whole premium thing the best is YouTube.
Think so?
Like, as much as YouTube gets shit for it, their with ads plan, so to speak, is just free.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you pay if you don't want ads.
Exactly, yeah. And YouTube Premium's not that much. I pay more because I have a family plan, and don't tell Susan from YouTube this, but I have people not in my household on it. So I pay for
it's too late. Plan. She's already sending an ICBM to your house.
I'm gonna hear like a whistling sound, and a mortar shell is gonna come through my fucking office ceiling.
It's just gonna go right through your window onto your desk.
It's just gonna be like a microtransaction. It'll say press here to pay $10 a month, and I'm like, oh.
$10 a month, and I won't blow this bitch to hell.
And I have to leave it there. I can't remove it. It has to stay right there. That's fucking funny. I'm just like, I'm gonna hit the skip ads button. It just fucking detonates.
And it blows up your entire house. No, not even like the entire building. It's just localized to your apartment.
Literally, like, not even infrastructure damage. Just everything I own just vanishes to the fourth dimension.
It vaporizes. It's like you never existed to begin with.
Exactly. The only thing standing here is Oscar. He's just like, the fuck?
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Listen, she can send me to the fourth dimension all she wants, as long as I get to keep the washer and dryer.
Oh, of course.
Oh, but they're not going to give me the sink, though, because it's not technically my sink. But the faucet is. There you go.
You get a faucet, a washer, and a dryer.
And that's it.
That's all you get.
God damn. I don't even get, like, a quest or anything. So much for Sniper Elite VR.
Nope, because it's a competitor product.
That's funny.
They take it from you.
They remove it. They revoke my questing rights. But
and also, the thing is too about YouTube. If you are like a menace to society like I am, I don't watch YouTube on my phone like ever for any considerable amount of time. So I don't need YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
I just have like ad block and sponsor block. And then I don't have to watch advertisements or sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. Nice little workaround. I heard you could actually there's an APK for ad block as well for your phone.
There is. I do use YouTube Vanced, which blocks out ads. But the thing is, I think YouTube gimps YouTube Vanced because it's trying to load an ad. So sometimes videos just won't load right.
Oh, is that why sometimes when we're trying to like watch a video on your phone, is that you use YouTube Vanced on there? You're saying, and that's why sometimes it takes forever to load, even though you're on Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That does make sense. It's almost like
it's because they probably just gimp my connection because I'm not watching an ad.
They're like, this motherfucker, dude. This motherfucker. But Chris, what do you got? Hit me with something.
What do I got?
Yeah.
AIDS.
Okay, don't hit me with that. I don't need that in my life.
So, yesterday at work, since we're not at work today, which is Friday, we decided to move to Thursday and get lunch out somewhere, get it delivered. And we got Chinese food. And it ended up being a lot more Chinese food than I bargained for, number one. And number two, it just, like, made me feel awful.
Really?
Yeah, I got home and I'm like, damn, I really, I don't feel that good. And then I slept for, like, fucking 5 hours.
Jesus Christ. After the wings, I thought I was going to be dead because I don't do well with spicy shit, and some of them were spicy and some weren't. But apparently I was like the only one who didn't actually feel like crap. Or one of the only
Well,
ones.
it's because you're a young lad. But here's the thing, is like, that never really happens to me, is like, I've eaten stuff that's made me not sick, because I wasn't sick, but, like, just makes me not feel right. But, like, I've never had that incident with Chinese food, and it was, like, just probably because I overate, and I was like, man, I just don't feel that good. And then I slept for, like, a long time, and I'm like, man, I still don't feel great, and then I ate more Chinese food, and then I felt better.
Makes sense. The solution to, like, Chinese food poisoning is more Chinese food.
It's like, to help with a hangover in the morning, like you have a beer in the morning.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So
that is, in fact, true. That is surprising to hear of you actually getting even slightly or remotely sick with food.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, again, not really sick, just like
queasy.
Yeah, it's like I don't feel too good. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense, though. I get like that sometimes.
Another cool event that's happening soon is Chunk is going to the vet again.
Oh, no.
This cat goes to the vet, like, every 3 months for, like, the most minor shit. Oh, aside from the time he needed surgery.
Yeah, a little more than minor.
Yeah, that was, like, a big event. But, like, he goes to the vet for, like, minor shit all the time.
What is it this time?
So my cat, he has between, like, I guess what would be his thumb and his index finger on his paw, he has an extra claw, but not, like, an extra finger.
Ooh, yeah.
So he just has the nail there. It's like, I can see there's a little nub, like there's a partially developed thing there, but it's just not quite there.
Yeah.
So he just has the claw, and it grows out and curls down into the pad of his paw. And it's just like, okay, it's just gonna hurt him. So the vet's gonna look at it to see if she can just remove it.
Yeah,
if that's an option.
That makes sense. That's surprising, man. Imagine him in the wild. He'd be so fucked.
Oh, absolutely. If he didn't have, like, someone who was willing to shell out money hand over fist to protect him.
He'd be done.
Well, here's the thing, is, like, I am against, like, decline in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. But, like, also, the claw, this extra claw, so I'm gonna keep all the rest of them, obviously. But this claw only detriments him.
Yeah.
It's like it only grows into his hand and hurts him.
I
don't see why there's a reason.
I was dumb and naive, and I was super, like, pro, like, getting cats declawed, and Oscar's not declawed, but I was like, at one point I was like, man, I should get him declawed, and then I learned actually what fucking happens. It's not just taking out the claws, and I was like, alright, sounds like he's not getting declawed.
Yeah, I'm like, that's awful. I don't like that at all.
So.
Yeah, I just, like, it just seems like a very selfish practice. It's like, oh, I am too scared to get scratched by my cat, so I will permanently disfigure this animal.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of cats, like, let's see, Stepmom's cat, who just died a couple months back. That cat was 16, and they got it declawed, or I think they got it from someone, and it was already declawed, and it was petrified because it felt like it was a useless thing.
Well, yeah, like, declawed cats have a lot of problems like that.
Yeah, and that thing never came out of the closet, man.
It's in their nature to, like, scratch at shit.
Yeah.
That's why people own cats get scratched so often. It's like, it's just in their nature to scratch at shit.
Yeah, it would literally be like someone just, like, taking your fucking finger, your thumb or something, and being like, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, just go be a productive member of society now, is after you cut your thumbs off with a fucking pair of pliers.
Yeah. So, well, a lot of places won't even, or at least around here, that I know of, won't even, like, declaw them. Like, if you call and they're like, oh, I want to get my cat declawed, they're like, yeah, we don't do that.
I think it might actually be illegal.
Oh, is it really?
It might be illegal now. Not federally, but, like, here, it is.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, yeah. You shouldn't... I've always said you shouldn't... It's like kids. You shouldn't have them or own them if you're not willing to deal with the, the consequences. Like
with the bullshit.
People who buy big fucking dogs and then leave them off leashes and shit.
And then live, like, in an apartment your size.
Or that even arguably worse. Yeah, leaving them in a place where they have nowhere to go. Yeah.
Or, like... Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, don't have a baby and then not be prepared for it to, like, shit its pants. Because it's just what happens.
Or keep you up at night. Or wake you up at night. Or whatever, Like, that is literally that is 101. Like, some people get the luck of the hand, you get, like, a kid that doesn't cry, doesn't do much, just kind of does its thing. And then you get people who have kids that just scream all the time. But you have to go in knowing that is a possibility. Yeah, you just have to kind of, So, but then you get people, let's say the people who buy dogs, the thing I hate, and this is like such a Reddit topic too, is I hate people who buy pets for like holidays or birthdays. Oh yeah, that is very, like a very Reddit opinion, but like, also that's true though. Like, well, because I heard the statistics and I was like, oh, okay, I officially don't like that as an idea, because it's like 75% of pets that are bought for Christmas get fucking abandoned, and it's like, what? Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, a lot of pet stores around are like, okay, we will not sell rabbits or like chicks for this amount of time because people just get people rabbits for Easter and then they'll get killed. Yeah, because buying a pet or obtaining a pet, adopting whatever, is apparently not a serious commitment for some people. Well, let me tell you... Like, even if it is just, like, a rabbit, it's still a living being you have to take care of. It's still a big fucking responsibility. Yeah. Even, like, our fucking guinea pigs, they're still a living thing. Yeah, they might be caged and we don't have to keep an eye on them 24/7, but you still have to tend to their needs. They are in a cage. If you want a pet that, like, you don't need to put any work into, really, get, like, a turtle or something. Yeah, truthfully.
Like, you just kind of give it lettuce every, 3 days, and it'll just chill out.
No, I kind of want a turtle, to be honest.
Reptiles are always interesting to me, but I feel like I'd rather have, a rat or a ferret or something.
Yeah, true. What about people who have, mice? I've always thought that was a little odd.
Mice is weird. Rats are fine.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
rats are very intelligent.
True.
They will just chill out. They're really hygienic.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that video of the rat just in the shower washing itself like a person?
No, that's fucking hysterical. I'm gonna look that up.
It's weird. I've seen that. He's just washing himself with soap like a person. Bruh, it's so fucking odd.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What the hell?
What you watching the rat thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just washing himself like a man.
The fuck is Master Splinter doing?
He's just washing.
That is crazy.
I only mention Chunk's vet visit just because every time he goes to the vet, it's always an event.
Yeah, it's never as simple as it's supposed to be.
Well, it's because I get him in the car. But I'm probably gonna bring him in my truck. I get him in, and he just sits there in his cage, and he's fine getting into the cage. He'll get in and out, he'll chill in there fine, right? But then he'll just sit there, and as we're moving, I think he doesn't like being moved. As we're moving in the car, he'll just go meow, 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 meow.
That's what Oscar does too.
And then once he gets into the vet, the actual room, never mind. All bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
He is just mean. He is mean. He screams and hisses and kicks and scratches and.
Yeah.
There were two people. There were two additional people. Last time I was at the vet with him, there were 3 people total in the room. There was the doctor and 2 nurses were holding him down so the doctor could give him his shots.
Jesus, that's fucking... Yeah, Oscar, the vet refuses to try to trim his nails for us because he fucking beat the shit out of her.
Oh, no, they're good over there. They at my vet. They'll trim his nails and stuff.
Yeah, she, I remember it was the funniest thing. They took him into a room. He was already pissed off as hell. They took him into a room, and I could hear him screaming, on the other side of the door. So,
yeah.
She came walking out, and she had a latex glove on, and it was just sliced diagonally from pinky to, end of wrist, and it was just hanging off. And she was like, yeah, I can't cut his nails.
Yeah, he just, he'll turn her hand into ribbons.
He also broke the harness at PetSmart. I thought they were really, or Petco, I mean. I really thought they were gonna charge us for it. He was on the table, and they restrained him into a harness thing, kind of like a vest, I guess you could say, with a leash on it almost. And they were trying to get him to stay on the table, and he just broke the arm off the table. So
too powerful to be contained.
So he, I really thought they were gonna bill us for it, but I'm assuming it probably didn't break. It probably just pops off or screws in or something. But he just ripped it off the table, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
Damn.
So they can't cut his nails either. And I think it's their fault. But
of course,
I'm confident that they may have hurt him because they have a window you can watch them through, and he was just chilling there. It was the first time he was ever getting his nails trimmed. He was just fucking chilling there. And then we walked away to walk around the stores, and 5 minutes later, he was freaking out. And I'm like, yeah, they definitely must have cut it too close.
Yeah, it's always possible. It happens.
So, and now we can't cut his nails.
But the only thing is when Chunk went to get surgery, he was at a different facility, an animal hospital. After we got him back, we were told that he was a very friendly, very nice cat. And I'm like, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. There's no way. This is not... Anytime he's anywhere but here at home, he is not a nice cat.
Yeah.
And even here, he's not a shining star of a cat. He won't hiss. He's not aggressive, but he'll scratch and bite if he doesn't want your attention.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's That's kind of funny. Yeah, Oscar is definitely a nice cat. He just has his moments sometimes. Where he also just doesn't like certain things. And if you know him, like obviously as well as I do, then he's fine. But if you don't, he could be misconstrued as a big jerk, but he's actually like one of the nicest cats I've ever met.
He's just kind of like, he's always like, he'll always run up to you, and no matter who it is,
yeah,
he'll like start brushing up against you.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
He's always like, he's still kind of like aloof too. So like, he'll try to get your attention, but then when you give him attention, at least in my experience, once we give him attention, he's like, oh, don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. It all depends on like I don't know. He gives these vibes, right? So sometimes he's like, give me some attention, and then you give it, and he's just like, yeah. And then other times he just gives you a vibe, where he's like, I'm fucking with you. Please stop.
Yeah, no, Chunk. If you pet Chunk, he'll just like he'll sit there, and he'll be fine with it until he's not, and then he'll bite you, or he'll swat at you or something. I think it's just because he's young.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it a ton anymore because every time he does that, I just stop giving him attention for a little while, and I think he's learned. So
yeah, that makes sense. He's just kind of like, alright, I got it.
Yeah, or I'll say something. I'll go, "Oh, I'm lucky. You're lucky. I still feed you."
And he's like,
I'll walk away. So like, oh damn.
Oh no. Yeah, Chunk's cool. I mean, he's like super jumpy, but I like him.
He can be.
Yeah. He do be though.
Especially if there's a lot of foreign people around, like people who don't live here.
Yeah, true. Then he gets really skittish almost. Yeah.
He's like, who are all these people and why are they in my house?
He's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy about this. He's like, I get that you know them, but fuck them.
Yeah, I get it, but like, please get out of my house as soon as possible.
Exit the estate, as some would say.
Exactly.
But, yeah. Is that all you got for this episode, you think?
I think so.
Move somebody's shit. Yeah, next episode we got some teams to talk about.
Yeah, I was actually worried about this pair of episodes, to be honest, because like our topic list was decently short
compared to what it usually is. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was like, this one's kind of gonna suck, but then it didn't. So.
Yeah. It
was a very cat heavy episode.
Cat heavy and what else? There was something else we were really
sound design.
Sound design, yeah, very sound design based. So, and some would say that Chunk do be making sounds and Oscar do be making sounds.
Not lately. He's just chilling probably somewhere.
Yeah, it's fucking cats. It's so funny how different their meows are too.
Yeah, no, Chunk will just screech.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Time for the outro. All right. So,
yeah,
as stated previously on the podcast, if you're interested in listening on your favorite podcast app, you can find us natively on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and of course, as I've said a bazillion times, my favorite podcast app, Pocket Casts. As always, you can take the RSS feed link down below and import it into your favorite media consumption app and listen to us there. And if you would like to, reach out to us with comments, questions, concerns, or death threats, send them over via email at synapsemisfire@pm.me. And yeah, comment on YouTube if you happen to be listening on there. So.
And that's it.
That's all she wrote.
That's the end.
It's the end of glory. Next episode is 49.
Yep.
Holy shit. Bye.
Okay, get out of my house. Get out of this call.